Hey y'all, Ritz here playing Watcher of Realms. We're going to talk for a minute about the banners this weekend, because they are insane. You can already see Valderon right there at the top, but we'll get there. So the 15x this weekend is Hex Pharisee. You can pretty much ignore the epics unless you're in the epic challenge. There's a 2x, and there's special divine ancient summoning, I can speak sometimes, of Valderon and Admiral Claw. Let's talk about this for a second. The 2x, don't do it. Just don't. This week, even if you're a brand new account, just don't. Because let's talk about this for a minute. Let's go into the gallery. I'm going to start with the ancients, because I can. It's my video. Fight me on it. Admiral Claw, he's pretty cool. He's got some very solid damage. He has the issue of all the chaotic units of just making sure how to keep them alive. If you don't have a Carnelian, who is a rare ancient exclusive, Carnelian has this thing where she gives them these orbs over their heads. The soul essence, I think, but it's pretty cool. It basically takes them, saves them from dying one time, and then she can put that back out there after a few seconds. But if you don't have her, all the chaotic units kind of have this same issue, except for a few that it's hard to keep them alive while doing their max damage. All of them have this same thing, that they hurt themselves as part of their kit, and they take away damage, as you can see, like in the ultimate. Here we go. For every 3 attacks, it reduces 5% of his current HP, so they're not going to kill themselves. But what Admiral Claw does, unfortunately, even though his multipliers are pretty awesome, when he gets down to 30 or 40% HP, he starts doing crazy damage, but he pulls units towards him, which makes them attack him, and then he starts dying. So you have to kind of find a balance to keep them at their best. He's pretty cool, but yeah, are you pulling just for him? No, you're not pulling just for him. Now, in order to just work upwards, I'm going to jump over here to the Infernals, where you have Pharisee, who's on the 15x banner. If you don't have Pharisee, pull for Pharisee. Definitely. The wide heal, you can see that he has the hollow vortex range, which is incredible. He actually has a decent amount of attack for an attack-based healer. It's a single target heal. His heals are going to be decent. His multipliers are pretty cool. His talent actually is, if he doesn't heal anyone for 5 seconds, then his next heal will have 100% healing multiplier. It'll do double the heal, basically. And that's pretty awesome, because it's very helpful for surviving. His ult gives a little bit of inspiration to the 3 highest units, which is very useful. It's not crazy. It's a 20% inspiration, and you're upping his attack anyway, so that you have more healing in the process. But that's not really what makes Pharisee so amazing. The Sands Bestowal, when an ally receives AoE damage, they get a 10% increased healing for 10 seconds. Now, it is really, really nice. That can be reduced from every 40 seconds to 35, and you can actually make that, instead of 10 seconds, 12 seconds, and 20% extra healing. That really helps in Guild Boss 2 when they do these big AoE hits. Everybody gets healed a little bit faster and a little bit easier, especially in the poison phase. If you can get this out, if this happens at the right times, if it procs at the right times, then that's useful, but that's not really where Pharisee shines. It's the Sand Aegis. Basically, anyone in his range, which he has that big wide range, so it's very easy to get everybody in that range. Everyone in his range can get AoE damage reduction, starts at 5%, goes up to 25%. Basically, no one's going to take more than 75% damage at any given point, which is huge. Guild Boss 2, all you have to look, he's on the top teams everywhere. Pharisee is amazing. I'm hoping to get a Pharisee. If I don't get a Pharisee, well, then I'm hoping to get Hex. Hex is one of the top, and I'm not stretching this at all. He's one of the top damage dealers in the entire game. If you don't have a Hex, pull for Hex. I don't care if you're new. I don't care if you're a whale or a kraken, unless you have an A5 Hex and an A5 and and a Pharisee. You don't need Pharisee's Awakenings. They're not crazy. But if you don't have a Hex, pull for Hex. His kid is crazy. He starts pulling these cards. There's a lot of RNG in his kit, but during his ult, Mad Truth, all the cards become the Joker, which basically just gives him crazy damage for 30 seconds, going up to 35 seconds, which is really long. I think besides Zillitu, it's definitely one of the top longest in the game. But it's not even that expensive. He ults very quick upon deployment. And his ult basically just lets him put out tons and tons of damage. That being said, one of the things that makes him incredible is his Awakenings. During Mad Truth, his ultimate, as you can see right there, his ultimate, then he has a chance to draw the Fool. What's that chance? It doesn't say, but there we go. It's an extra 100%. He gets slow and burning. A 75% slow, by the way, is huge for 3 seconds. It's the biggest slow you can get without freezing, basically. Pretty much, this is insane that an A1 Hex just starts dealing insane damage. But in particular, he does it a little bit slowly because he's got to pull out his cards, draw a card, throw a card. The only thing that ups his damage even more is further Awakenings. During his ultimate, performing his basic attack against targets inflicted with burning extends his ultimate up to an extra 30 seconds. So instead of 35 seconds, he now can go 65 seconds in his ultimate, making it the longest ultimate other than Idril, who in Gear Raid 3 can just go and go and go and go. I think I've seen Idril go for 60 plus seconds over there. I'm pretty sure. But he can just go for 65 seconds casually, inflicting burning and constantly putting out his own extensions. And if you have other units that are putting out burning, like Zillitu in her 45-second ultimate, if you time it nicely, then you're going to get permanent burning in there. If you have Arrogance at a slight distance, his bow inflicts burning. He's going to be doing that. If you have a bonded Lust, she inflicts burning. And so he's just going to constantly be putting out extra damage here. His A5 becomes insane. Each draw returns 1 card of fate and increases damage dealt by the Joker by another 30%. I don't know whether this is additive or multiplicative, meaning is it 30% of the 500% or is it now 530%? I don't know. That being said, he's insane, but not just because of his ultimate and doing crazy damage. Aside from that, he has, I have it locked, I'm pretty sure. I'm sitting on this, which I'm going to lock so I don't accidentally sell it. Basically, he rapidly draws cards, and additional to his 15% extra damage, which is nice because he's already doing crazy damage, he just starts drawing those cards like crazy. His ultimate no longer is limited in his card drawing. All of those animations basically disappear, and the extra time is gone, and he just pumps out insane damage. And if you look at the guild boss rankings, you'll see 300 or 3 million plus. I think people get 3,028,000 or 328 million. But on top of all of that, the last ancient exclusive on the banner is Valderon. Now, if anyone has Ancients left, which probably no one does, pulling for Ardea, pulling for Ingrid, all of those, Valderon is back. I don't know why he's back so soon. He was already here about a month ago, a month and a half. He's back crazy soon for a unit that does as much damage as he does. Basically, he can revive himself. You have to kill him 3 times to really get him to die. He's very hard to kill, even though he's hurting himself. His stats are insane. Like, look at this. 30k almost HP. He's basically a tank in fighter form with 66, honestly, 6,700 attack. It's, I think only a few units have more than that. And he's got the 2 tile range. He gets Potent Surge. Yeah, so when Potent Surge reaches its maximum, he gains 2 stacks of Chaotic Vitality, which is awesome. Chaotic Vitality, he loses a little bit of HP, but does 25% extra damage and 25% critical, or 25% attack and crit damage. Stacks twice when he gets his Potent Surge, and just casually puts on Vulnerability, because why not? Just makes them take more damage. He's insane. He hits like a truck everywhere. He does massive damage. So if you have him, if you have the ability to pull for him, if somehow you still have Ancient Shards, pull for him. Apparently his Awakenings are crazy good. He gets 1 stack of Chaotic Vitality on deployment, which is basically just him ulting on deployment. A3, he just casually ignores half the defense, so he's doing more damage to any ground unit. And Chaotic Annihilation, when it's triggered, in case you're wondering which one that is, he increases attack speed. So that one's less crazy, but his A3 is cracked. The fact that he just ignores defense like that, and he gets 8% extra penetration on A4, which is at this point just redundant almost, because he's already destroyed everyone. Yeah, that's Valderon. He hits like a truck, and you should try to pull for him. So yes, in my eyes, yes, you should be summoning, unless you have an A5 Hex, an A3 Valderon, and Pharisee. Like, you should be summoning. If you don't, if you have all of those, A5 Hex, A3 Valderon, and a Pharisee, then no problem. Just keep going with what you're doing. Save up for whatever banner. Lust is supposed to be coming soon. So awesome. Save up for Lust. Get your A5 Lust, because you're already a Kraken, and no problem. But if you don't have these, pull. If you already have an A3 an A3 Valderon for some crazy reason, Sleepy, I'm looking at you, don't pull on the Ancients. Save your Ancients for when other crazy banners come back. Just save up. Don't worry about it. Valderon past A3 is kind of redundant. His A3 is cracked, so he'll do massive damage. But beyond that, I don't feel like it's necessary to go beyond that. So it's better to save up for like Ingrid or the Pope when they come back. I have no idea when they're coming back, but if they come back, then yeah, save. So Hex, Pharisee, pull. If you have an A5 Hex, if you already have Pharisee and they're awakened, you're already a Kraken anyway. So save up anyway for Lust, because you'll get A5, or you have A5 already, so it doesn't make a difference. But whatever, everyone else should be pulling on this banner. Ignore the 2X this weekend, even if you're new. Go for Hex and Pharisee, and I'll see you in the next one.